Yes, I am Nicholas Fielmua, an associate professor of water services planning. I'm going to just give you a small note on the team. And because of my area of research, don't be surprised if I move into water-related issues. Right. Climate change has come to stay with us, as the previous speakers have all mentioned. We cannot do anything to totally get it out of our way. What we now need is to empower communities to adapt to it and take some further actions. If you look at the recent report, climate report, it has shown that the year 2023 was the hottest. But those of us who are also in Ghana are already complaining that 2024 is the hottest. So what is likely to happen is that the 2024 report might also refer to 2024 as the hottest. And those who are mostly affected, especially in rural areas, are the vulnerable and then the poor. And we are talking of climate action. Who is to take the action? It is those who suffer who are also expected to take action. But the question is, what information do they have to enable them to take action? And that is where climate research is very important, to give the ordinary man information to be able to take actions. And many universities and research institutions across the world have been so central in climate change and climate action research. But our partners, the practitioners, are also questioning the relevance and then to some extent the effectiveness and how our academic research can influence national policy and also remain relevant to the ordinary man on the streets. The argument has been that our research tends to promote our individual researchers' interests. So we are writing to get promotion, to win grants and meet grant requirements, instead of looking at policies that will meet the ordinary citizens who is expected to take action. So these are the arguments from the practitioners. So what it means is that there is a gap between the ordinary person, the citizen, and then climate change or climate action research. Now, if you look at this picture, on the extreme left, you have findings from climate research. And then the extreme right, you have the ordinary person who is expected to take action. And the question is, how can this person understand the research findings to enable him or her take action? And that is where we usually have the gap. In Ghana recently, many of you might have, those who are not even in Ghana, you might have heard of the Akosombo Dam spillage. And up to date, there is still a blame game. The VRA, Ghana, the Volta River Authority, and then the Ghana Meteo Services are blaming each other. While the VRA is thinking that Meteo did not do a comprehensive work, Meteo also feels that they have done their part. So the question is, who is supposed to interpret the data for the ordinary man to understand the climate research findings, and then what role he or she is supposed to play? And that is where we are now in our climate research. But there's no, we cannot throw our hands thinking that all is lost. There is hope. So with all these criticism and blame game, research has actually led to the design and adoption of some technology for climate action in several areas. And our previous presenters have enumerated so many areas where climate research has led to some actions. And if you look at the irrigation sector, in many localities, irrigation is seen as an adaptation strategy to the effect of climate change within the agri sector. But some of these areas do not support basin irrigation. So there's a need for them to rely on underground water. And solar-based energy has been seen as one of the best to facilitate irrigation because solar is environmentally friendly. And because of the interdisciplinary nature of climate change, within the water sector, they have come out with an approach to providing water that will meet the various needs of society. And they term it multiple use water services. With this kind of service, you are able to provide water that will meet the household needs, the economic needs, and what have you. Again, within the rural areas, climate change affects agriculture so much. And people are now moving towards different alternative livelihoods. And I can cite an example of the share sector, which is playing a great role in adjusting to climate change. But the share sector is also being threatened by other factors. So through research, they have been able to come out with improved seedlings that can mature within a short period. And I know the Global Share Alliance is planting share trees across West Africa. And their target is that within the next 10 years, they should be able to plant up to 10 million share trees. And these share trees will provide job to about 600,000 women. And the job is basically entrepreneurial related because they need to process the share into share butter, which they use for which will feed other industries across the globe. So with the multiple water use service, one water point is able to give us irrigation. And this enhances the livelihood of women. Again, with the same water source, we are able to water our animals, which can also improve incomes of households. And with the same water service, we are able to promote entrepreneurship, especially among women. So they're able to process their shea butter, okay? And in some areas, they really export the shea butter. And through that, households are able to improve their lots. And with the same water source, we're able to engage in other entrepreneurial activities like local beverage brewing. Well, the popular one in the northern Ghana, in the northern part of Ghana, is the Pitu, which is a source of livelihood to many rural households in northern Ghana. And of course, we're able to also get potable water to households. So with this kind of design, we're able to address poverty in its numerous dimensions. And once you're able to do that, you are further enhancing actions towards mitigating the effect of climate change. But these technologies have challenges. For instance, with the solar, many of the areas, they do not have the technical expert to maintain these facilities. So when there's a breakdown, they have to rely on people who are sometimes not near to be able to repair the solar system. And because of that, we usually have long downtimes. I would have wished Tino Solutions had presented their findings because they are more into solar. Again, although the whole concept is good, we sometimes fail to understand the internal arrangement when it comes to access to land and control or household decisions. So these are things that research must pay critical attention to if we want our research findings to be very relevant and effective at the local level. So what do we need to do? We need to be more interdisciplinary in our research. We should remember that there are three key people: the ordinary man or the ordinary citizen, the scientists, and then the policymakers. We need the commitment of these three to be able to move our research into actions that will be sustainable. And if we don't get the commitment of these three, our actions cannot be sustainable. So in short, climate research is producing results. Climate research has led to several actions, but we need to engage scientists, policymakers, and end users to make sure that our findings are easily understood and usable to the ordinary persons who we are expected to take action. And if we're able to do that, then we will be moving to climate action that will lead to a sustainable development. Thank you so much.